welcome to episode 4 of the Dray Way. And what I want to talk to you guys about today, I think I got a good show for you, because what we're going to do is we're going to break into 2 parts. We're going to talk about buying a house or selling a house, and just what is involved in doing each, because a lot of people want to buy or sell and they don't exactly know how to go about it, and they think they have to, hire a real estate agent, and that's just not the case. You can basically do it yourself. But first, let's talk about, okay, you've decided I want to buy a house. What do I do, Drayton? What's the first thing I do when I want to buy a house? Well, the first thing you want to do is get 2 people on your side. First, you want a lawyer that's going to draw up the offer for you and go over paperwork with you. And number 2, you need a great lender. You need a lender that understands you, works with you, and is really competitive to get you the best rate available. And there are some very, very good lenders out there. I have a couple that I work with. They are highly professional. And if you ever need a lender, just drop me a note and say, hey, Drayton, give me some info on a lender. I need help. And I'll be more than glad to do that. But so far, we've got the 2 L's, the lawyer and the lender. And when I say when you're buying a house, tall is all. Title, appraiser, lawyer, lender. And if you can't do your own inspections, then hire your inspections done. But that is your team. Those are the people that are in place to help you get a great deal on your home. Now, why would you want a salesman tagging along with you? Yeah, if you're going to go buy a house and you have a salesman, a real estate agent tagged along with you, you just made the buying experience more expensive because you have to pay them. Does that make sense? And I don't know what they would do. You have your lender, you have your lawyer, and tall is all. Title, appraiser, lawyer, lender. So everyone is looking out for you, including the inspector and the inspections. The inspectors looking at the house are looking out for your best interest. They're going to show you where the problems are. Just as an appraiser will also. You're the one hiring the appraiser. You own that appraisal. That appraisal's yours. So you can bet that appraiser is going to find deficiencies. And if they find deficiencies, yeah, that's going to be accounted for. And that's why an appraiser is so important. So now you've got your team. Tall is all. Title, appraiser, lawyer, lender. You understand that now, right? That is your team. And everybody always says, well, what if I want to go look at a house? You have your lender. You have your pre-approved loan. You've gone through underwriting, and after going through underwriting, you can get a $500,000 house. $500,000. So now, if you want to go see a house, no matter what house you need to see, you have your lender that can verify you're good for $500,000, and that notice can be sent directly to the listing agent. Now, if you're dealing with a FSBO, for sale by owner, that probably won't be necessary. But in case it is, you've got both a lawyer and a lender on your team to notify the listing agent that you're ready to buy. And it really is that easy. It really is that simple. I know I know you think that, well, I want to see multiple houses. That's fine. That's what you have your team for. Now, once you've found a house that you like, you go to your attorney and you say, look, 123 Main Street, I like 123 Main Street. Let's make an offer on the house. And your lawyer will draw up the paperwork and send it over to the seller. If the seller approves your contract, the contract goes from your lawyer directly to title. Now let title do its work. Your lender is now going to be in contact with title, and there's going to be a closing date. And between your lender and title, those 2 will work. Everybody else's work is kind of at the side at this point. We're really worried about the lender and title. Between the 2 of them, it's ultimate now about getting the money over to title so we can close on the property. Now, before you close on the property, you're going to want to get an appraisal and you're going to want to get inspections. Now, if a house is more than 30 years old, I get a general inspection, but if the house is more than 30 years old, I pay the extra money, and I also get an electrical inspection and a plumbing inspection, separate from just the regular general inspection. I will get the plumbing and the electrical done as well. It's a few $100s, but if the house is over 30 years old, you're going to want to know that the electric is up to standard. You're going to want to know that the plumbing is up to standard. Because I can tell you right now, people often get involved with the house. They fall in love with the house. They love the house. That's all well and good. But here the house is, they're like, oh, it wasn't that long ago. It was built in 1980. Okay, well, 1980 was almost 45 years ago. So that's why it's so important in older homes to get a plumbing inspection. Because let me tell you something right now. If you buy a house and you later have problems with plumbing, plumbing isn't just a few $1,000s. If the situation is bad enough, you could be talking about $10, $20, even $30,000. And who wants to mess with that? You just bought a house. Do you really want to worry about paying a plumbing bill for $10,000 or $20,000 or more? Yeah, I wouldn't want to worry about that either. So you want to buy a house. You have your team in place. You've got a contract that they accepted. And now it's sitting over there at title. What else do you do? Nothing. Between your lender and title, they're handling all the paperwork. And if there's any questions or anything else that needs to be done, they have the phone number of your attorney. All you have to do is wait until closing date to sign the documents because everything else is done. So that was the whole complicated process. Did that sound that complicated to you? You got your team together. You got a lender and a lawyer. That was the start of your team. And then, of course, you got an appraisal done, and you already had your title company. So tall is all. Title, appraiser, lawyer, lender. And if you can't do your own inspections, hire those inspections done. Get a general inspection if the house is under 30 years old. If the house is more than 30 years old, what are you going to do? Yeah, you're going to get a plumbing inspection and an electrical inspection. But that's it. As far as reading the reports, and Drayton, I'm not sure how to read the reports. The reports are written in English. They're not difficult to understand. And if there's something you don't understand, again, you have your team. You have your lender and your lawyer. Between the two of them, I'm sure they can answer any questions that you have in your inspections. So I hope that wraps everything up for you. I hope you now feel comfortable in buying your own house because it really is that simple. And what's the one thing you're going to remember? Tall is all. Title, appraiser, lawyer, lender. That's it. Okay, now let's talk about selling your home. FSBO, for sale by owner. You selling your own home yourself. Because let me make sure you understand this. If you use a listing agent, first of all, a listing agent just lists your property for sale. That's all they do. A listing agent isn't going to sell your house. That's not what they do. They're the marketing end. They just market your house. But what they don't tell you is this. You can market your own house just like them for 90% less. That's right. Let me say it again. You can market your house just like a real estate agent, but you can do it for 90% less. And if I told you you could go shop for a car, if I told you you could go buy a TV, if I told you you could do anything, and pay 90% less, wouldn't you do it? Wouldn't you rather pay 90% less? Because I want you to know a listing agent is just marketing or listing your house on MLS. You can list your house on MLS for $299. If you want to list your house for just $299, leave me a message saying, send me info, Dray. I want to sell my own house, Drayton. Leave me info. Just put it right there in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why haven't you subscribed? Anyway, let's go on. Okay, so you've decided you want to sell your house, and you decided you want to save 90% because you don't want to pay a listing agent a huge bunch of money for doing basically what you can do for $299. All right? But you're saying now, oh, Drayton, I'm going to list the house myself, but what do I do? Okay, let's talk about what you do. Because once again, the exact same people are in play. You don't need a lender because you're selling the house. You may have to talk to the buyer's lender. That's possible. But again, you need your lawyer in place. And guess what? You need your title company. Yeah. Now, is it possible that the buyer wants to use their title company? Yeah, but as a seller, typically you'll use your title company. But that can be in negotiations. I want to focus right now on what you do to get your house ready to sell. Because the most important thing, and when you're going to list it yourself, is you must get professional pictures. Professional pictures and your house being cleaned up and decluttered and looking its best is extremely important. Because when you list your house for sale, it's really important that your three best pictures are in that listing. You want your three best pictures because people zoom right through. I mean, this is the age of flipping right through things, right? So you want to catch their attention right away. So how do you do that? You do it with great pictures. Now you want to clean up the house. You want to declutter it. You want to make the house look like $1 million, okay? Inside and out. And now that you've got the house all cleaned up and you've got professional pictures taken, the only thing left to do is decide whether you want to pay a buyer's agent or not. Because this comes up all the time, especially lately. My feeling on this is it really depends. I always say it's negotiable. I don't put out a number. I don't suggest anything. I say it's negotiable because if somebody really wants a house, you better believe they're going to do everything they can to get that house. And my responsibility is not the buyer's agent. It's not me as a seller. It's not my responsibility to pay somebody I don't know. So my feeling on that is if you're going to pay one, just say it's negotiable. Don't ever say anything else. Because until you have a contract, they may offer you a contract above what you're asking. And then would you mind giving some money to a buyer's agent to make the deal happen? Probably not. But if they're going to offer you $30,000 less, are you going to be inclined to pay a buyer's agent? No. That's why you say it's negotiable. And so now you've got professional pictures. You've got the house on MLS. You've got signage out front on the main road and in front of your house. Home for sale. It's extremely effective because people in your neighborhood have other people that want to move into the neighborhood, maybe even family. So it's really important that your neighbors know. And one thing I like to do is I like to do an open house and I like to do a countdown. It's my little way of kind of getting people interested in the neighborhood. I let people know 10 days in advance. 10 days to open house at 123 Main Street. 10 days. And then when it's 7 days, I put signs out that say 7 days from the open house. And then I change the sign again and I put 3 days. 3 days until open house this Saturday from 11 to 3 o'clock. And then I put the signs out today, open house, the whole thing. And guess what? You'll be surprised how many people around the neighborhood show up. And that's because, of the countdown. Give it a try. It's worked for me in the past. But you have the house on MLS. You have signs out front. You've perhaps even done a little listing on Facebook. That is all that you're going to need to get the house sold. And when you get a contract, say you get an offer, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get an offer? You're going to give it to your attorney and let your attorney look over the offer. And then if the offer is accepted, then it goes right over to title. Your house is almost sold already. See? So the whole mystique of listing your house, and oh my gosh, listing a house is so difficult, and how do I do it and stuff like that. Well, Drayton, what if I don't sell it during an open house? What if people want to come see my house? Well, yeah, you may have to answer the phone a few times and make sure if somebody wants to see the house that they are pre-qualified. Make sure, say, look, if you want to see the house, I just need notification from your lender that you have gone under underwriting and you're ready to buy. Or if you're going to pay in cash, I just need proof of funds. It's that simple. You're just saying, hey, if you want to see my house, I want to know that you're ready to buy. I don't want to be showing my house to people that aren't ready to buy. Does that make sense? So there. How hard was that? You listed the house yourself. You cleaned the house up yourself. You took professional pictures, you put signage out front, and you got your house listed on MLS. And guess what? The whole thing cost you less than $800. Yeah, $800. Now, if you had a $500,000 home, do you have any idea how much you would spend? Yeah, well, let me give you a hint. At 5%, you would spend $25,000. At 6%, $30,000 to sell your house. I just showed you how to save a lot more than 90%. But it's really that simple. But now you know, whether you're trying to buy or whether you're trying to sell, you can do it on your own. You just need a little help. And if you need a little help, I'm here. Just put it in the comments, hey, I need help, and I'll be glad to help. That's episode 4. Thanks for joining me for episode 4. You now know how to buy and sell a house all on your own. Don't forget, hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel. This is episode 4, episode 5 coming up soon. And if you haven't seen episode 1, 2, or 3, why not? No, really, why not? I hope you subscribe. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Good day, everybody.